So in this lecture I'm going to go through a basic wireless configuration. This goes out a lot of wireless to the new CCNA exam. So I'm going to go through some lectures to discuss wireless characteristics and kind of basic connectivity from wireless through a switch to a server. So in this example, this is an autonomous AP. So there's two types of modes that an AP can use, an access point. It can be either autonomous mode or it can be lightweight access mode. And with lightweight access mode, or lightweight, or sometimes called LAP, it's actually gets all its configuration from a wireless LAN controller. So it's connected to a switch, and the wireless LAN controller sends the configuration update to the lightweight access wireless access point. And then you have autonomous mode, where you've got an access point, and it's kind of an older model that's not used as much anymore. Most of it's wireless controller now, but the AP is connected to the switch as well. But all of the iOS software and configuration is on the access point, and it's configured right on the access point itself. So it's autonomous. There's no wireless controller. So in this example, I'm going through just some connectivity for an autonomous mode. This AP one here is autonomous. I'm just going to show you some basic characteristics of RF. RF is half duplex. And so it means that anytime a host is going to connect to a server and wants to transmit packets, the data transmission is in one direction only. It's not full duplex like Ethernet. So there's a lot less performance with wireless, and there's been a lot of work done to improve the technology of adding multiple antennas and increasing the speed between the access point and switch to get better performance from the access points. So to start with, this is the cell here. It's got two hosts and a guest, and it's a single VLAN. So I'm going to start with AP1, select it. First thing I'm going to do is configure an SSID. An SSID is similar to a VLAN, but not necessarily. What I'm going to do is I'll start with port 0 first. And port 0 is the uplink to the switch. So I'm going to make sure that's set to the Cisco default so there's no issues with duplex or speed. And to do that, I'm going to select auto for both. And it's just an uplink that's going to forward packets or bridge them from the access point to the layer 2 switch. Then I'll go to the other port, and this is the radio. And here what I want to do is I want to configure an SSID, and that's going to be advertised that the wireless adapters on the hosts are going to connect to. I'm going to call it CCNA Wi-Fi. And like it's similar to a VLAN. It's often associated directly with a VLAN, so you can think of it like that. And then in this example, this is 2.4 gigahertz, so it's only got 3 channels. It's not 5 gigahertz. So you have to select. There's only 3 non-overlapping. And so you've got a choice of 1, 6, or 11. And it's important to know that that was similar to 802.11b and 802.11g. And N supports 2.4 gigahertz as well. So when you're dealing with a 2.4 gigahertz band, you've only got 3 non-overlapping channels. So I can start with, I can leave it on 6, doesn't matter, 1, 6, or 11. And in this case, I want to then select an encryption. I want some security, so that's another part of wireless configuration. So WIPA2 PSK is probably the best one available of all these. WEP is older and not used anymore. So WIPA2, if it's available, is probably the best security option here. So you need a passphrase. So I use CiscoNet, for instance. That's a passkey, and I'm going to use AES because that's the best encryption cipher available. And that's all there is to configuring the AP. Now I have to go to each host and do the same thing. So I want to find the wireless adapter, and I want to configure the SID here so it can pick it up. Then for authentication, I'm going to use WIPA2 PSKey as well. And for authentication, I need to use a matching key, so I'll use the same passphrase. Keep on AES. It's got an IP address already assigned, so I don't have to concern myself with that. And that is the wireless adapter. Then I'll go to host 2, do the same thing. Go to the wireless adapter, and I'll configure CCNA Wi-Fi for the SID, SSID. Then make sure the authentication is correct with the right passphrase. AES is correct. The IP address is unique. Then I'll go to guest, do the same thing there. This one wireless, this will be the same thing. And the same passcode. AES 13 is okay. That's all configured, the wireless adapter. You notice they're starting to authenticate to the AP. So that's fine. Now what I'll do is just send a ping to 1.4 from one of the hosts. So I'll go over here, I'll type ping 192.168 1.4. And I'm getting 4 replies. So connectivity works fine through that access point. And that concludes autonomous mode AP.